The elevation in what God is doing, the setting apart, the incubating, all of the different things is tied to something that's so much bigger than me. Girl, I'm getting chills. I might cry.
God is so intentional. Like,
literally broke down because I was like, that's what you were trying to tell me.
am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? And it's like, I feel like I am, but there's still something in the back of my head saying you're not doing enough, or you've been rooted out of guilt and fear.
I think the enemy would love to distract us, especially when he knows that he can't defeat us.
Yeah.
It matters.
Yeah.
Whether he's pleased or not.
I didn't
matters.
care before. I definitely care now. Hey guys, welcome to 2&T Podcast. I'm your host, Tori Rouse, and I have the beautiful...
Yes, I'm April Kelly.
Yes, the infamous April Kelly, y'all.
Yes.
So let's just start off like, how do we know each other, April? How do we get linked in?
Tori. So... You know, we go to the same church.
Yes.
Shout out to Koinonia.
Yes, KCC.
Yes. So I had been seeing you at Koinonia, but I did, and then the dance. Rylan was on the dance team.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was like pre-COVID, right?
It was,
because they were working on a whole different thing. They didn't end up getting to do it because of COVID, shut us down.
Yes,
but
yes.
I remember Rylan. She was definitely one of the ones I saw. I was like, okay, she got a little pep in her step. I like that.
That's my boo, that's my babe. And she would come home and she would be like, Miss Tori don't play. Miss Tori don't play. And I'm like, well, who is this Miss Tori? And so I got a chance to come in one day. I think I was just picking her up from school or from practice.
Yeah.
And I saw you, and it was at the tail end of practice, but you were holding back a little longer because she was like, we got to get this together. Y'all not giving me the energy. Lord. We want people to be moved. And I was like, that's Miss Tori. That's Miss Tori.
We not coming to play, okay?
Not coming to play. So that's how I first was like, not necessarily introduced to you.
Yeah.
In an indirect way.
Yeah.
And then I was looking for someone to do Rylan's hair.
Yes.
And I was like, I need someone that, I'll be picky a little bit.
You should. As you should,
girl.
Y'all gotta,
because I was handing her off. I typically do her hair. So I was like, okay. And so I asked on Facebook, and a lot of people tagged you. Shindy, especially.
Yes, Shindy. Okay.
Yeah, Shindy gonna support. She gonna shout out. So she tagged me. I was like, okay, let me look into what she's doing. And I went and saw your picture. I was like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I'm looking for. So that's exactly how we met.
Yes.
And I, came in, you did the consult. And one thing I can say about you, Tori, is that you are literally the same.
Hey.
You are literally
when I tell you
the same.
That is such a huge compliment. Like, that speaks about character. And a lot of times, we sometimes show up and we feel like we have to be all these different things. So hearing you say that, not because I'm telling you to say that, but like that's how you genuinely feel, like that that means a lot. So I just appreciate that.
Sincerely, yeah. You're the same at church, the same in your salon chair, the same when I'm coming as mom, picking up the babies from dance or from your chair. And I love that about you. I do.
Oh, Lord. Look, we about to get into it.
We just started.
But man, when I tell you, April, you are such a inspiration, which we're going to kind of dive in, because some of the people might not know you, but the people that know, they know. But I know, like you said, we met a couple years ago, and like us just being able to sit down and talk, and me being able to just hear you speak, I'm like, yo, I'm trying to be like you, okay?
I appreciate that.
And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna dive into why that is. So let's start off with, what do you do? What's some things you got going on right now?
Okay. So here's my official spiel. So I am April Kelly, the CEO, founder, and startup supermom of a company called Tavi.
Yes.
And Tavi is the first Black woman-owned infant formula startup company in the country.
Wow.
So that's my drop the mic moment.
Yes, ma'am. Hold on, we gotta let them, like, they gotta sink in for a second. The first Black CEO of a company like this, y'all, in Greenville, North Carolina, like homegrown, like what?
Yes. So that's me in the marketplace. We also have a podcast that I share with my friend Rebecca. Shout out to Rebecca Bunn. And then
hold on, what's the podcast name?
The BFFX podcast.
Yes.
Check us out. We're on Facebook, Patreon, and YouTube.
Period. Y'all follow.
Yes. So we do that, and then but what I'm most proud about, honestly, is what I do when nobody is looking.
Yeah.
And that's in my home with my husband, Caleb, and my 4 beautiful children.
Yes.
I got to shout them out to Rylan, Nola, Tabby, and Caleb Jr.
Period.
But yeah, so that's pretty much who I am. Mom, wife, CEO, and then a friend to many.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yes. A lot of people know you in the community. I know when we were trying to get you for Pastel and Pearls, the women's empowerment event we did last year, I was trying so hard. I was like, I need you. And what made me say that is because I remember you came in the salon, I think like a couple weeks when we were still in the planning stages. And excuse me, I just remember hearing you talk about just women. Your passion is women. Your passion is just like really pouring into women, creating a safe space for women. And I'm like, yo, that's what I really want to start tapping into because, which I spoke on this a little bit before, but I feel like I'm jumping around, but it's okay.
You flowing.
The enemy really tried to get me to doubt who I was, and he used women, or they were girls at the time, but like females to do that. So growing up, always feeling like, you know, I'm trying to just be me, not do too much, because I like to be kind of in the back, but just naturally being seen. And just based off of looks, people assuming, you know, like, oh, she thinks she this, oh, she thinks she that, and it always came from us females.
Right. No, true.
So it's
true.
like the enemy tried to use that to make me, one, not trust women, or like I said, it was girls at the time, but women, not trust who I was, and also become a people pleaser to like try to overcompensate that so I didn't have to hear that because I heard it so much. I'm like, no, if you know me, you know that's not me, but I get it. Yeah. So going back to that, it's like women, now I know God has really called me to that space, to just be able to, relate to other women and also bring people together. So me hearing you say that and just how that's a passion of yours, I'm like, I look up to you. Like, I really need to I need to talk to her some more because there's not a lot of people that are on that type of time. It's like there's a lot of competition when it comes to just women being successful, women being who they are, and just being in spaces together. And I never will forget. I want to say this was when you jumped on the live. This was last year. We was doing like the Pastel and Pearls live. And it's something that you said, and I might be misquoting it, but basically you was like, if you step into a room and a woman makes you feel like you're shrinking or like you're, you know, like you're less than, or you start to lose your confidence, that's not the woman's fault. There's something in you that you got to check.
Preach.
And when I tell you, that was a mic drop moment for me because I was like, yo, that is so real. There's been so many spaces where I felt like that. So I say all that to say, I really just, I love what you're doing. I love the women, not versus women, but women with women movement that you have going on, and even just dealing with your podcast. It just is so inspiring. And I'm like, yeah, we need more people like that that can be the advocate for, we don't have to compete. We need to be like linked in and just, you know, let us all grow together as one. So I love that.
You said so many good things. That's so good. And the reason why that day I was able to say that was because it was my own lived experience too. And it's something that I it continues to be a work in progress for me, an area where I really lean into, because there are rooms that I walk in and I feel that little tinge rising, and it's a tendency to want to like shrink. It's a tendency to want to be like, you know what I'm saying? And kind of check her. But that is when I check myself. That literally is when I pause and I'm like, okay, April, what's going on in here?
What got you to that point? Like, how were you able to have that type of self-awareness to know, like, okay, that's not them. That's not on her, but what's going on with me to make me feel this way? Like, how did you get to that point?
I think it honestly just came with maturity. And it also came with just seeing that, like, me continuing to make them the focal point was not solving anything. Nothing was changing. You know what I mean? And so with therapy and just, like, really leaning into, okay, wanting to be a better person and wanting to, when I say I love women, really mean that thing.
Absolutely.
Like, even if it's a woman that I don't know, have like a very sincere love for her because I know somewhat of what her journey and her plight looks like because we both are women. You know what I mean? And so, like, just the desire to want to be more authentically me in a space where I'm surrounded by other women was really what drove it. I wish I could point to like one specific situation, but I think it was really just like a series of different things that I had. I know I've gone through like tough friendship breakups. I've gone through like women hurt or whatever they call it. I've gone through a lot of that stuff, and I've also dealt some of that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I've been a culprit sometimes too.
Been the enemy. I was the villain, and I chose violence.
Man,
girl, the pettiness has no end.
Thank you,
So
God. Thank
I'm
you,
just
Lord,
grateful for growth. I'm grateful for growth. And so now I find joy in being that for other women.
Yeah.
Because so many of us, like you said, so many of us struggle with that same sense, whether we're the one dealing it or we've been on the other end. Oftentimes we've been on both sides, if we just being honest.
Yes.
Oftentimes we've been on both sides.
Yeah.
And when I realized that, I took myself out of the place of being a victim and was like, no, how can I make a change? And how can I be the change?
When I tell you, there are people that have been on this earth 2 to 3 times longer than you that have never had that realization. So just shout out to you for not allowing that hurt and, you know, even you doing the hurting, not staying in that place.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times people just be like, oh, well, that's just me. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And they also, like I said, they tap into past hurt. And it's like that fuels them to say, well, I mean, I'm going to create this wall up. I'm not about to let nobody do that to me.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to keep walking in, you know, that self-preservation mode, which is, again, them attacking other women or just, you know, just being guarded to the point where they can't let anybody else in, specifically with women.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. It was something that you said. I want to make sure I bring it back, if I can bring it back. I don't think I can. It went somewhere.
I said a lot.
No, it's good though. It's good, girl. It's just the mind glitches that I be having. So ultimately though, what I want women, what I would like for them to get out of it is, first and foremost, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. I feel like my path has literally been like ordainedly orchestrated.
Yes.
To where certain people have just crossed my path, and even if not in that moment, I didn't like immediately see what the meaning was of. There's so many full circle moments happening simultaneously in my life. Like, it's like, wow, God truly cared enough to put people in my path to help me to ultimately get to a point where I am now.
Absolutely.
And that also applies to how I see women, how I'm able to see myself. And there's such a fullness in friendship.
Yes.
Oh, I can just sit on that. There is fullness in friendship when it's done, you know, in a healthy way, where you can truly bring your most authentic self and people like you.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm like, girl, I'm quirky, I'm awkward, I be glitching sometimes. I'm just like, I'm not everything that people, all of me is not what people see.
Yes.
Like, what you see is literally a very small part. And we'll get into the backstory here in just a second. But that's what I love about friendship, is that it truly is a safe space. Yes. When it's done right, it's a safe space.
Right. Keyword, when it's done right.
It's done right. And that's why we need more women to know how to do it.
Yes.
Because then we get to come together, build each other up, we fortify, we edify, and the world is different. When you got women that can be all of who they are and were created to be, the world changes.
Because it's like we have so many other things that are already against us as women. So many things. So I was like, we don't have to add to that. There's strength in numbers. So I think that's a really, really key thing, is just, again, growing together and also just knowing, too, where it stems from. Because a lot of times when we look back at, like, okay, why is it that I operate in this space? Sometimes it's really hard to, like, see that, because you've been so clouded from just, again, this is how I am or this is how I move.
Right.
Like, even with the awareness that I have about what led me to becoming who I was. Shout out to therapy. Sherry, you getting your shout out every time. She has been a game changer for me with just like being aware of like, okay, you do this. And I'm just like, oh, I thought I was just being nice, or I thought I was just like, no, this is, yes, you can be nice, but to what capacity are you to the point where it's like you're really trying to please everybody else to the point where like you don't even care about how you feel, or to go a little bit deeper, it's like you're starting to make people an idol. It's like you care about what people think and say so much. God can tell you whatever, but you're not going to go with that route. You're going to go with the people that are physically here. So I thank God for her, and just, you know, of course, diving into my my faith a lot deeper, because I was not really doing that either. But yeah, I think just, again, not staying in that place of this is what it is, this is my safety, this is, you know, just kind of where I'm at with it. I think that's just a game changer. And I got to give Honor where honor is due, girl.
And
you are doing it.
Likewise. Because no, seriously, it's not easy work.
Yeah, it's
and
not.
it really takes women who are willing to step up to the plate.
Yes.
And most of the work is done internally.
Girl, what?
Most of
Speak
it.
on it, please.
A good
Speak on it.
80% plus is done internally.
Yes.
It's self-work. It's self-awareness. It's dying to yourself. It's like all the different things. And it goes hand in hand with our faith and with what we believe.
Yes.
And so what I try to do is just keep my heart open to be scanned. Like, God, scan my heart, search my heart. What's in there that, so even when I do feel those tingy moments of like, shrinking or intimidation or fear or comparison or competitiveness, girl, it in a blink of an eye, I'm opening up because I'm like, breathe your breath on it, breathe some life on this, help me see this, like help this part of me to heal so that I can really be who you call me to be to women. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately to people, but in this specific conversation to women. And I think that is a game changer. Check, like doing a self check or a heart check. And I feel like even with the people pleasing, I've had some of that too, where I just want everybody to like me, and not that I want to be the center of attention. I just don't want no enemies. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be like, I just want to, when I come in the room, ain't nobody glaring or whatever,
like no
ain't
stank looks, nothing, because it's like I just live. It's one thing if you are like legit doing things to make people that way, but when you just feel like you just breathing, and it's like you can't even just breathe, and like you're not even saying nothing. You just trying to, just
in my own little square,
literally, like, and you're not even doing anything, and it's just like that. And that's why I said the enemy is so crafty. He will use people, and not saying they're bad people, because they didn't know probably what they were doing or the seeds that they were planting at the time. But he will use people, and he will try to, again, take you off of your assignment, even if you don't understand it at that time. Because, again, I was younger. I didn't know, I was going to be called to a space of, like, having to really pour into women or start to pour into women. Even with this profession, never really thought too much about that. But now that, again, God has really been doing work, and also just like you said, opening up my heart to receive him, and to not stay in that place of like isolation or just getting in my head, because I'm an introvert, so sometimes I get overwhelmed, especially being around like a lot of people. So I just will naturally just close up, like, okay, I can't do this. But just him really doing the work in me, and also like you said, showing me constantly. Never get into a place of like complacency. I think that has just really helped with just, again, me being more self-aware, like, okay, and I can't rely on my own strength to do it. I think that's also the problem. Part. We try to do it ourselves, knowing that this is, it's spiritual warfare.
Girl.
A lot of stuff ain't got nothing to do with it.
Most of it.
It's
heavy. It's heavy. And so you got to know, like we hear being said often, how to fight the right way. Or whatever, and just praying and really having that intimate relationship with God and the Holy Spirit, so they can lead you and guide you in those spaces. Because it seems practical. You know what I mean? It seems like, it's just people, or, they just feel something. No. It's so more deep. Times than not, it's so much more deeper, even if it's a heart thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's spiritual, and then it could be something that's been planted in your heart that you gotta uproot. That thing gotta continuously be plowed, and like, you know what I'm saying, turning over that dirt, fresh dirt. But it brings me to the story, like my backstory, and I get so excited about sharing it now, because I used to like it made me a little cringy just because it is not a pretty story. It's not one of those happily ever after moments in terms of what you think a fairy tale would be, right? And I guess it could be, but one thing that I like to really share now is like my backstory, because a lot of there's a lot of people that are new to me, even on social media, because we had a whole situation when my last page got hacked, and like I literally had to start all the way over. And like, let's talk about spiritual warfare, baby. Baby, that's a whole different podcast. So I started a new page, and it was so funny because like now I had more people that I don't know than people that I know, right? So I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And a lot of people don't know all of the things that I was doing, that I have been doing for the last 6+ years, even with Rylan and her business. But even more so than that, they don't know exactly where I came from. And the fact that I am here from the 2-5 Greenfield.
Period.
So I was born and raised here in Greenville, spent sometime earlier on in Winterville, went like kindergarten through second to Debate Robinson. Shout out to the Bears.
Hey, I went there too.
Oh, you did? Okay, yes.
The Bears.
Listen, shout out to the Bears. And then I moved over to Farmville, and I went there for the rest of my Yeah, we moved there, and I was and Sammy Bunny started 3rd grade. Went all the way and graduated from Farmville Central High School in Farmville, but there were a couple years that we moved to Florida and then came back. So there was a lot of stuff going on. But I claim all 3: Greenville, Winterville, and Farmville. Okay,
All right, look, we all
my stomping ground.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
But when I was 3, my mom actually went to prison. So I'm one of 5. I'm the middle child, baby girl, and she went to prison. And I specifically remember, this part of the story is so important that I share, but I specifically remember being in the courtroom when she came in, and it's kind of glitchy, a little blurry, but I remember sitting in the courtroom with all of our family and friends gathered around us, and a lot of the family I don't remember meeting before that moment.
Yeah.
But I had a sense that something was like not right. Never been in the courtroom in my life before, I assume, but in that moment I knew it was like, something is different about this. And this is how I know too that God's hand has like always been over me. I'll get to why I feel that way, but in that moment I knew something was wrong. And then I saw my mom walk into the courtroom. Hadn't seen her in like a few days, I don't think, but she came in, and I remember hearing the judge say a few things and then slam his gavel. Is that what it's called?
Gavel? I think girl, give me lying.
I know, right? That thing. Slammed that, and I remember her looking back and like mouthing to us like she loves us, because all my siblings were in the courtroom too, I think, at least one other one. And then she goes out, and then I didn't see her for a long time.
Oh my God.
And so at that point, I moved in with her brother, his wife, and I spent majority of those years with them.
Yeah.
And while I was there, it was just so many different things that took place while she was away. I felt like I was alone because I didn't really get a chance to see my mom or my siblings. And they had an older child, which she was like a teenager, like 16, when I first came to live with them.
You said, how old were you?
I was about 3 at the time, about to turn 4. Not long after she left, I turned 4. And so went through a lot of just behavioral issues. I was the one that was like always top in the class, reading above grade level, very intelligent, but also just had a lot of emotional brokenness, mental brokenness. And no one back then, nobody was talking about mental health, especially for a child. It was stay in a child's place. Seen, not heard. And my aunt and uncle at the time, they were very traditional, and we attended a holiness church. So I was wearing the dresses all the time to church, and little patent leather shoes. And so, but I also spent a lot of time with like the elderly people. And so her mom, they had a lady that was a family friend that might as well been my second grandmother. Her name was we called her Miss Sister. And so they would take me to church with them, and I asked for a piece of candy, and it's like, go in that pocketbook and get a piece of peppermint. And I'm like, but this
hard
ain't
candy, boy.
This is not candy. It's either that or butterscotch or the cinnamon candy.
What a little the ones that look like strawberries.
Oh yeah,
hard candies.
I would rather that over a peppermint though. So when I did see that, I got a little happy. And the raisin cakes. Did you ever eat raisin cake?
No, but they was popular back then. But no,
they was popular. They were. So I ate the raisin cakes, and I remember shucking corn with my grandmother and going out and picking grapes from the vine and picking up pecans off the ground. So I had like, even in that transition of like not having my mom and just the things that happened, there were a lot of good things that happened too, which really fortified me and laid the foundation as an adult. And so on into that, when my mom finally came back after about 5 years, we went to live with her again, all of my siblings.
So you were like about 8 at the time?
About 8 years old, going into the 3rd grade. And I remember my stepdad happens to be a white guy. And so he came, and he was actually an entrepreneur as well. He had his own business. So that was like my second introduction to like owning your own business, entrepreneurship, you know. And he did that he still actually does that to this day.
What's his business? Like what type
It's called, at the time it was called D&D Builders. So he's a contractor. He builds like greenhouses, does home repair, things like that. And so our lives changed like drastically. We went from having like, and with my aunt and uncle, I had a pretty good life. But we went from poverty with my mom. We stayed in, I don't know if anybody would know, Smith Trailer Park in Greenville out by Welcome Middle School, to having a really good life. But we lived in a small town. that was still very much so, in my opinion, segregated.
Yeah.
A lot of racism and things like that. And so to be the family that had the white stepdad, all these kids, you know what I'm saying, that don't look like him at all, it was interesting.
Yeah.
It was interesting. And I remember going to school one day, and I left my lunchbox or something, and he came to bring me the lunchbox. And I was so ashamed that I had a white stepdaddy, girl. And he came and he was calling my name, and I literally was walking like I didn't hear him.
Yeah.
And I, like, to this day, it breaks my heart, because I'm like, oh my God, I was so young. I didn't know what I was doing. Please forgive me.
Yeah.
Stayed with him. We had some good time. But my mom, you know, being that she went to prison so early on, she had dreams, she had visions, she had things she wanted to do. And I think that at some point it started to become really loud and distracting. And she's like, how do I live my dreams and what I want to do and still be a parent?
Yeah.
So she ended up singing with a gospel group that was very well known at the time, called Revelation Seed. And they went on the road. She'd be gone for months at a time. And so we were kind of taking care of ourselves to a degree. We had guardians, but my stepfather was a provider.
Yeah.
You know, he really didn't know how to parent at that level, on an emotional level.
Yeah.
So he provided. And so going on, I was really into like extracurriculars, things at school, did all the clubs. And it got right down to, I'm kind of fast forwarding a little bit. When I got into high school, it got down to my senior year. And I had just gotten a full ride scholarship to college. But found out I was pregnant with Rylan.
Oh, wow.
The second half of my senior year. So I was always the one that, like, I'm not going to be a statistic. I'm going here. I thought I was way too grown before I was actually grown.
Yeah,
like, my friends will tell you to this day. They were like, I was always saying, I'm grown.
Yes.
And the power of the tongue. Oh, you think you're grown?
Let me show you grown.
Here you go. Like, boop. Here you go. And so my senior year, like, my world changed drastically. I mean, to the point where that's where, if I've ever had a bout with depression, that would have been the time.
Yeah.
Because everything changed so quick. And so I gave up my full ride scholarship to college, stayed back with Rylan, and I raised her, and I went to work. And that's when, like, the competition began for me, like real life hit for me.
Yeah.
And so all of my friends were going off to college and everything. Caleb, which is my husband now, we were together, Rylan's dad. He was going into work trying to figure out how to make this thing happen.
Yeah.
And that was when I started to get my first big girl jobs and just trying to compete with people who had these 4-year degrees. Like, how do I get my foot in the door? I know I need to create a better life for my daughter.
Yeah.
And so I just try to do all that I can do. I felt like in that time I was kind of going back and forth. I was stutter stepping with my faith too.
Yeah.
So I was very inconsistent. But thank God for grace and mercy, because I was so covered.
Yes.
Like, there were things that would happen that I could only point back to God and His protection and His hand over my life and over my baby.
Yes.
And so I was really out here fighting. I was dogging it out. Like, how I'm gonna go and make a life for myself. I was still having these big ideas, big dreams, big things that I wanted to do, but none of that was to own an infant formula company. I can tell you that. It was really just to climb the corporate ladder. And so I'm coming to an end of this. We were, my husband and I both were working at, it was called Suddenlink at the time. And I was working, yeah, girl.
It's so long ago.
I was in the billing department. Come on, call center culture. My God. I was working in the billing department. Caleb was working in tech support. And my leader saw something in me. And actually, when I first interviewed for that job, I told them in the interview, I was like, I want you to know that I'm applying for this position. I'm sure I'll get it, but this isn't the end for me. This is a means to an end.
Lay it out on the table.
I was like, and I don't even know where that boldness came from in the moment. Like, God. Anyway, so they were like, okay, all right, 2 white men. And so then I went on and I was doing my job, very competitive, if you know anything about me. And so I was doing my job, doing it to the best of my ability. And then my leader comes to me one day and he's like, I want to submit your name for this role that just came open on the other side in a different department. It was called media at the time. And I was like, okay, cool. That sounds good. Tell me more about the position. He was like, it's a sales position. It's outside sales, which means you're going to be door knocking. But it's B2B. So we're going into businesses that we have no clue who's the owner. We don't know anybody. You're going in there and you're information gathering, right? And then you're finding out who the decision maker is. And then you're trying to sell them a product, essentially.
How did you feel about that? Like, did that make you nervous?
God,
Were you like,
it made me excited. It made me excited.
Okay, because stuff like that, I'll be like, oh my God.
Girl, it was exciting because it fed a part of me. Like, I promise you, it was just this like, I don't want to keep calling it a dog or a beast because, power in the world. Yeah. But it was really this hunger, this thirst that I had to like succeed. Yeah. So it was like, by any means necessary, let's go.
Do you feel like it was just, I know obviously Rylan had a part to play because you were a mother at that point. Do you feel like, and I know you said also with your mom and just kind of seeing how, all that turned out, do you feel like there's anything else that kind of like drove that, or was that just naturally a little bit of you anyways?
All of the above. Yeah. All of the above. I felt like I always had a big imagination. I always had big dreams and wanted to somehow change the world. It's like I always knew that would be a part of my story. I just didn't know how, right? Yeah. And so as a little girl, I would just imagine, like, I would see things like, oh, I want to be a figure skater. Oh, I want to be this. Oh, I want to go to the Olympics. Like, just random bigness, right? And so everything that happened with my mom is really what developed the thirst for it, the really like the grittiness. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Coming from where I came from and then being where I am now. Yeah. It took grit, it took tenacity, all the things that they say make up are good for an entrepreneur. But I never saw myself being an entrepreneur. It's never that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. It's just that I wanted to succeed. And this is what that looks like for me, I think. And then as I've gotten to where I am now, it's become more clear. Yes. As I've invited God back in to lead, it's become more clear. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So it's still some shady parts, but that's where I lean on him for his guidance. Because I'm not supposed to have it all, right? I'm not supposed to know it from beginning to end.
Because if we do, we're going to take it and run with it how we
want
to.
And that would be me. That would be me. And then we'd be playing God in our own lives. And who am I? Yes. My little finite self. So, but yeah, it developed that grit because like my mom, she was a hustler. Like when I say hustle, she could hustle, baby. Like she knows so many people. There's nothing that she wants that she can't get. Yeah. Now there's ways to go about getting what you want. Yeah. However, she always had the grind. So I got that from her definitely. And then like I said, just life circumstances, it just birthed a whole different type of person in me. Yeah. For sure. And so where I was going with that was when I started that job, when he introduced it to me, I was like, yeah, let's go. Let's try it. He was like, now I want you to know that nobody from the call center has ever gotten a job on this media side. So I'm not making you any promises, but just go in there. I feel like you'll be good for it. All you got to do is show up, be you, and we'll go with it, right? So for whatever reason, God chose the right one. When it comes to like even trailblazer, because I typically choose level hard. Yeah. Like if I got an option for easy, medium, I'm choosing hard. Hey, good people, this is your girl AK, and
it's Becca.
Hey, and we are so excited to be here on the To a T podcast to give y'all a little bit of information about what's happening real soon. So first and foremost, shout out to the Toy Rouse, who's doing her thing real big here in Greenville, North Carolina, and beyond with her podcast reach is growing and just doing all the good things. But she has allowed us to step in front of you all to let you know about what, Becca? What are we talking about?
The Golden Hour Gathering. Okay, so November the 15th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. We are hosting a gathering, and we want you and your friends to come on out and enjoy some time with us. We're going to have good food, good empowerment, great speakers, and it's a lot that you're going to be able to learn.
Absolutely. And we're giving away some moolah, baby. Giving away a little bit of money, a little bit of change.
So if you have a business idea and it's something that you want to pitch, we're having a pitch competition, and we're going to be giving away some cash. There on the scene. So we're looking forward for you to register. The registration link will be in the description box.
Yes, y'all see us trying to do this real nice for y'all. We really be up here cutting up. But we're trying to be good. We're trying to be good. Yes. But at the end of the day, we want y'all in the building. So come see about us. Link in the description box. And we hope to see y'all real soon.
Looking forward to see you.
Bye, good people.
Bye.
Even if I ain't never played a game before.
Rub off on me. I'm like the opposite, and I don't like that. I'm such a play it safe person.
It's a gift and a curse too. Yeah. And I hate to call it that, but it helps me at times, and then sometimes it is a hindrance. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay. It excited me because it was hard, because it was something that hadn't been done, and I'm like, oh yeah, let me leave my imprint or whatever. So I go over, I interview with the job. My boss at the time, he was a very southern white male, very like he had all the football jokes, like your typical southern white male from Eastern North Carolina, and so very much a different dynamic, you know what I'm saying? And so I was like, okay, God help me, and I did a little code switching. I've learned better. But I did what I needed to do, or felt I needed to do in that moment. Yeah. Got the job. And I'll never forget my leader at the time in the call center. He came over to me. He was like, I just want you to know I was checking in on you to see how things were going. And I talked to your now leader. And I asked him about you. And he said, I asked him how you were doing. And his response was that she's an enigma. And I was like,
yeah, what's that?
Should I be offended?
What's that word mean? Okay.
So an enigma is basically, okay, in the way that he was describing me, it was like he couldn't understand me. He couldn't quite figure me out. It was like mysterious, undefined, right?
Got
and
you.
also like the quite opposite of what it should be, but somehow in this case it worked.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was highly offended.
Yeah.
I was highly offended because I'm like, first of all, why y'all talking about me?
Right, like what
could I not be a part of the conversation and tell you how I feel about the situation? But secondly, I was like, do I not fit in? Am I not like me just being me? Because I was, like you said, standing in my square, not messing with nobody, but also very competitive.
Yeah.
Only black woman on the team at that time. And so I felt like I had to stand with my shoulders broad.
Absolutely.
And like, because if I come in like this,
they will see right past that. And just,
I needed to be able to be seen and to be heard and to take dominion in the way that was whatever was rightfully mine. I needed to own it. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
So when he said that, it took me years to really settle with it to the point where now I own it and I embrace it. I'm like, oh, you know what? I am an enigma. Yeah. Because if you look at my story, if you look at where I've come from, I still don't have a degree in science or anything else.
Yeah.
I'm literally still in school. I'm still like just a work in progress. What I'm building in the infant formula business, nobody has done what I'm doing. And I don't say it as a brag. I say it as a reminder to myself of like, April, first and foremost, that is a direct reflection to the point that God has chosen you. He has positioned you. This could not have come in my own, because on paper, baby, it don't line up.
Yes.
It don't make sense.
Favor. Uncommon favor.
It's favor.
Like he literally will take the ones that are not even less qualified, but realistically, like we're not qualified on paper,
right?
But when you have that grace and that favor from God, it's like it ain't gonna make sense, and that's how you know His hand is on it. Like
when I tell you, and that's why I always say when people look at me, like I hands up, like y'all better be looking at God, because what I'm doing, I could not do on my own.
Absolutely.
Without His help, without the people that He's placed in my life, without the favor, without His hedge of protection. In some seasons, He's hidden me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Girl.
Because, baby, for one, it was seasons where He hid me and I wanted and needed to be hidden.
Yes.
It was also seasons where He hid me and I wanted to be seen.
You want to be outside.
And I want to be outside. And He was like, no. Because when I look back now and I think of like, oh my God, how much different would my life have been if I had gone to college?
Yeah.
If I had had a degree, would I be in this moment entitled? Like, oh no, I did this. I got myself here. You know what I'm saying? Girl, the way that it has happened is the way that it should have and was meant to happen. And I'm grateful for it. But I just want that to be, I like to share certain parts of it. I wish I could have done it in a much nicer way. But I like to share those parts of it because people need to know.
Yes.
They need to know that it's not all good. They need to know that the same person that when I walk in a room and you feel intimidated or you feel like, baby, let me pull back the veil so you can really see.
Let me show you what it really is. We have a story.
Let me tell you what it really is. Now I'm gonna shine my light because that's my responsibility. It's in the Bible. Let your light shine.
I like
that's
that
biblical.
Because a lot of times, I know I suffer from this. Sometimes I will dim it because I feel guilty. Because again, I don't ask for it. I ran from it from a long time, being like you said, visible. I was okay in certain seasons with wanting to be hidden because I didn't want to have to be uncomfortable, like having to be a leader, having to be an example. I didn't want to be none of that because I'm just like, why I can't do what I want to do? She can do what she want to do, but every time I do it, I get caught out or people see it, and it's something bigger. But I just had to surrender. Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing. I was trying to prove who I was and what I wanted to do, of course, outside of God's will. But I was trying to just fight it for so long. It got to the point, like, I remember I had a session with Sherry, and she basically was just like, it's getting to the point where you have, how does she word it? she basically said, I have the gift of visibility. I think that's basically what she said. Like, God is using me to lead other people in certain spaces, because I was a youth leader already at that time, which I had fought for a long time, because I'm like, I'm not perfect, which I now know you don't have to be that. You just have to say yes to God, and he'll do the molding once you say yes. But in my in my headspace, I'm like, I'm not ready for this. Like, I'm still, the stuff I'm telling them not to do, I'm still doing it. So I felt convicted. But I just know that God can use anybody. You just, what's the saying? Oh my gosh. He calls,
the unqualified qualifies the what? Unqualified?
Something like that. I can never say it.
Qualifies the called.
Yes,
right?
not called he doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called.
Yeah,
basically, yes. And so I had to just be okay with that. I had to realize that I had to just give God my yes and know that he was going to cultivate the things that he knew was in me that I didn't believe in myself. He was going to do all that. And I had to also just be okay with being used. Because like I said, for a long time, I was just not trying to do it. I was trying to, figure out who I was based off of what people were saying, based off of what people wanted from me, based off of social media, just all these different influences. I was really just going back and forth trying to figure it out. And me being in alignment with God's will, finally, after years and years and years, he never left his hand. He never took his hand off my life, but I ran from it for so long. And me actually like seeing it, the bigger picture now, and just seeing how, we're not going to say what I should have did, because I feel like everything happened how it should have. But it won't nothing but God. And just even when it comes down to just having peace about certain things, and having peace in just walking in our calling, scared and everything, but just having like a sense of peace centered around it. I know that ain't nothing but God.
Nothing.
Because he's taken me past my limits within these past just 2 years, where like, I know we talked about public speaking and things like that. I told you, girl, I don't do that. I'm nervous. I get shy. The reason why I feel like now I know I couldn't do it then is because I wasn't relying on his strength. I would pray, but really relying on taking self out of it and letting him do it. Even just down to this podcast, letting him do it, him be the guider to like how it needs to go, how it needs to flow. I said, look, I should have been walking in alignment a long time ago.
It's much easier. It's much easier when we do it your way.
It's the control thing, girl. We be trying to do all the things.
It's so true, so true. And even now, like, I constantly, when I say it, I mean it. Like, I'm constantly dying to myself every day, because I know me. I know April. And I know how she can get ahead of herself. I know how she can dive in head first into a whole pond that won't even meant for her to be swimming in. Like,
speak on it, okay?
Be in over my head. And ain't even supposed to be there in the first place. And so I'm grateful for his grace, and that he still chooses me. And to just be walking in it now, and to have a sense of pride about it, because there was a lot of shame that I went through, shame and embarrassment about not having gone, the traditional route, the conventional route. Just my story in its entirety, even the details that I haven't been able to share. And let's not even get on like my marriage and the things, the different aspects and dynamics that brings to this conversation. But ultimately, I'm grateful to be a vessel, not just to do and to be the person that's starting a business or all these things, but also to be a model of what God can do.
Yes.
Like, I say this a lot, and I say, I am the vessel, but I'm also the pipeline from heaven to touch earth, for heaven to touch earth through my life. And so, like, I have just over the last, I would say, year to 2 years, I continue to completely surrender. And I was listening to the song this morning, Another Surrender by Naomi Rain.
Yes. Girl, that's my song.
It's, girl, another one. It's another one. And another surrender. And another surrender.
It's a daily thing, man.
Daily thing. But now my confidence comes from knowing who I am in Christ.
Yes.
And knowing that, like, it's not the degree. It's not these worldly things that could easily be taken away, changed. Policies can change. And a 4-year degree can no longer be what a 4-year degree used to be.
Yes.
Like, you know, have so many people out here looking for jobs who have the 4-year degree. And it's not to say that I'm throwing any kind of shade, but it's the reality that the world is a worldly place.
Yes.
It doesn't run by God's grace. You know what I'm saying?
Only nothing touch that.
Only through the vessels that, you know what I'm saying? Of course, he can
Yes.
do all things and what he wants to do, but we know that people are going to be people, and
Yes.
people are going to do the things that they want to do if they're not following God's prompt and his leading, the
Yeah.
Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And we see that right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In so many different ways. So I'm just grateful, girl. I'm just really grateful that I can stand here, like sit here confidently and say, like, no, I don't have the degree.
Yeah.
No, I don't have what people think that I may have.
Yeah.
There's conversations that I have with people and they're like, oh, I thought you lived by such and such. I'm like, no, I live in a normal house, girl, with normal problems. I need to go probably sweep the floor right now, make my bed, put loads of laundry away. Like, I'm just me, but I'm also who God sees me as.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
And that is what I have confidence in, because now when I'm like recently at Woman Evolve.
How was that? I wanted to go so
girl.
bad. I'm going to go next year. Prayerfully, I'm going to go next year.
It was a great thing. It was also one of the most challenging moments for me.
Yeah.
Because I've been praying for this moment where, like, God, you know, allows me to come out on my platform and be seen and do the things, and it's trickling in, right?
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, wait,
hold up. It's a little fast.
It was so surreal.
Yeah.
Because we got the special invite or the exclusive invite to come to join me in the VIP suite.
Yes.
And to be quite honest, I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool, because I hadn't gotten a Woman Evolve ticket, and this wasn't anything that was we knew about ahead of time.
Yeah.
Right. And so when they sent the email, I was like, well, bless God. Okay, I'll be there.
Open doors.
Just open door, you know, VIP, I'll be there. And so everything worked out. I was able to go. And the whole time, though, this is what made it strange.
Yeah.
It was like I was there and I was present in the moment, but I was also having this conversation with God the whole time. And even when I wasn't the one talking, I was just constantly hearing him. It's like I couldn't rest because he was constantly showing me things, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like he positioned me in this like bird's eye view of just like being able to see all the things happening.
Yes.
None of my friends were able to come with me. It was like a point where literally we would have to break off from each other. They go through their entrance and I walk a little more further and go through a separate entrance.
Yeah.
And that in itself, I feel like was such a spiritual revelation of like where God has me.
Yes.
It's like,
Oh
I'm
my
setting
God.
you apart, but you aren't alone. You're not alone. You're not isolated. You're in an incubator.
Yes.
And that's something that Sarah said when we were there, Pastor Sarah. And it's truly where I am.
Yeah.
And so I had the opportunity to focus. I had the opportunity to observe.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to hear from God and to just have like a moment with him like I've never had before.
Jesus.
It was literally life-changing. And then there were just a couple of women who I befriended while I was there, and we worshiped together. And we actually had to like hold each other.
Wow.
Complete strangers, but it felt like home.
Yeah.
It felt like, okay, this is my girl.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
yes.
And so like all of the things that I experienced in the moment, I'll be honest, I was very mixed of emotions.
Yeah.
It was like I was celebrating, but I was also cautious, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, God, where we going? What we doing?
Yeah.
And I'm on stage. Do I need to be ready? Like, do I need to be pitching myself and talking to different people, rubbing elbows, like politicking? Or am I here to just hear from you?
Yeah.
Like, what are you telling me to do? Either way, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
But what are you telling me to do? And it didn't feel like marketplace at the time. When I'm in the room, I'm working the room, I'm networking, I'm smiling,
Yes.
I'm laughing, because that's part of connecting with people is to be present, to be seen, to
Right.
be accessible. But in this moment, it was like he was telling me, come over here. I got something for you. I got to show you something. I want to tell you
gosh,
something.
April.
So intimate, girl. So
Ooh.
intimate. And I'll end it with this. So while I'm there, I'm worshiping. I'm like, God, I got to be here for a reason, though.
Yeah.
Like, the experience is great. You know, the vendors, the lights, the music, it's a whole vibe. But it got to be something deeper here. Like, I still have to go back with more power than I came with.
Yes.
How am I going to get that? Help me. Girl, I'm sitting there and I'm worshiping. And this lady that I had met on the first day, it's a white lady with pink hair.
Okay. Yes,
Literally
pink hair.
vibrant pink hair. So when I saw
Can't
her, I
miss
was
her.
like, okay, I see you. But we literally spoke just long enough to get each other's names. She was like, I said, hey, what's your name? She was like, Heather. I'm like, I'm April. We talked a little bit about, I don't even think we talked a little bit while we, it was like, nice to see you. Enjoy your time here. Went to my seat. The next day, I'm in worship, and the way that the seats were, it's like an arena, right?
Yeah.
So like if you go to a basketball game, the rows of seats, right? So she's walking down my row. I'm the only one on my row. Walking down my row, and I'm like moving my chair because I'm thinking she's trying to go behind me, right? So she comes and she puts her hand on my shoulder, and I'm like, oh, you want me? So she was like, I have something to share with you, but if it resonates with you, I want you to take it and keep it. If it does not, throw it away. This never happened.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, girl, where we going with this? Because I'm over here getting my worship
Right,
on.
like,
What's happening, right? So she was like, I just had to tell you that as I'm over here, I looked your way and I had this whole vision. She was like, it was just a lot of water and you were on this boat. And she was like, have you ever seen the movie Moana? And I was like, yeah, I've seen that movie. A couple of times actually. And it was funny that she said that, and I'll tell you why. And so she was like, well, I saw you on the boat, and just like how Moana had to go past a certain point that her family never had been because of fear and so many other things, she was like, you are going to go past that point. Oh, girl, I'm getting chills. I might cry.
Jesus.
And it was just so touching because the elevation and what God is doing, the setting apart, the incubating, all of the different things is tied to something that's so much bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? It's tied to the freeing of my family, but also my family as in the body of Christ, people who are called to what I'm doing. And so I just broke down. I literally broke down because I was like, that's what you were trying to tell me.
Jesus.
You brought me all this away, set me apart, like for a moment, just like that. Like you care enough about me.
He is so intentional.
You know?
Like I'm over here getting emotional too.
I'm literally
like,
trying to fight
so
back the tears. So intentional. I was down. And then what's so funny is another lady that I had met while we were there, she saw the whole thing happen. So she comes down the next day. She's like, I saw you and Heather yesterday. And she was like, I just want you to know I had a similar encounter with her. And the things that she knew about me, she could not have known.
Jesus.
She could not have known. To the point where I went back to my friend. Her friend happens to be the chief of staff for TD Jakes Enterprises. And that's the one who I got the invite from, right? Went back to her and I asked her, did you tell Heather some things about me? And she was like, no, I didn't.
Wow.
And she was like, so she is powerful. Jesus. She is anointed. And she's like, I've watched her. And all she does is kind of like watch. She moves around a lot. She never really sits down. And then when she's led, she goes and she speaks. And she said, we have it on tape when she was talking to you. The moment we caught it on camera. I said on tape. Lord, I'm old. We got it on camera. And I was like, she was like, we recorded it while it was happening. And I was like, yeah, I would love to have that because it was such a special moment. So I go back to her name was actually April, the chief of staff. Okay, so it was so many different confirmations and moments. But anyway, I go back to her and she's like, something just told me to record it. Jesus. She was like, I know it seemed a little creepy, but something told me to record it. And I looked at it and I was like, this is like my stamp. This is my receipt.
Yes.
I will always know that God is with me, that he hears me, that he's listening, and that everything I'm doing is so intentional. And it is a God thing. It is about him and it's not about me because of this moment. You know, so many other moments in my life, but the most recent one is that. And I'm just so grateful to God. God, I thank you. I'm just so grateful. Just so grateful.
That's how I know he is working on me. I don't just be crying. Girl, like I really don't, but
me too.
Like God is so intentional. Like he will literally send somebody that you don't know from a can of paint just to let you know he hears you.
Just to let you know.
Girl. I've had moments like that recently too, where. Sorry, y'all.
You're fine, girl. I'm trying not. Oh God, you about to get me up started.
I've had moments where, in my case, I feel like because I know he's doing a lot in me right now, and I guess I typically like go back to just how I was like mentally. I'm like, I want to please you. Like I want to make sure that I'm on my mark because. You know, like recently I've just been having like a couple different like rapture dreams, you know, and God's been speaking like, you know, the time is coming. So I just want to make sure that I'm in alignment with him and like I'm making God proud. Like that's just really been like my my drive, and I feel like it's been rooted out of guilt and fear of just, yes, I know I'm like God is doing stuff, but also, are you happy? Like, am I really, like, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? I feel like I am, and I feel like you're showing me that, but it's just this sense of, like, I just don't know. And I'm constantly, like, in the back of my head, like, God, are you pleased? Like, is there anything that I haven't given to you yet? And he's been, like, throughout the way showing me different things that maybe, like, I didn't realize. But I just remember last Sunday, actually, how Bishop just kind of took a pause for what we've been talking about, stepping into the ring with conflict.
He said, I can tell you may be in faith. You may have faith and believe that that God can. And you may have had them bring you to the right place. But I can tell by the way you're laying there that you have let your expectation go. And you got to be careful that you don't let your expectation get diminished. Touch somebody, say, don't let your fuse get wet.
Yeah.
But just also, God specifically told her to let us know to be in expectation and not to, like, just let it fall to the wayside.
Yes.
And after that message was amazing. I had to go back and watch it a couple times because it's, like, right on time. Because, again, sometimes I get overwhelmed and I just be like, God, I know you told me to do this, but I just got too much going on. So I'm just, maybe it's not right now. And in that moment, I got convicted. And he was like, you need to make sure your faith is up to par, because you say it is, but you was about to walk away, like, literally right before service. There's something that I was supposed to be doing, and I was going to be partnering with somebody to do it. And we had been talking about it, just kind of like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. And walking in that day, I saw that person. I was like, hey, I got a lot going on, so I think we're just going to postpone it. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Like, the time is not right. And then instantly that word, and I got instantly convicted. I'm like, dang, God, you gave me this, and I'm over here just in my own head trying to, like, push it to the side, and he just would not let me do it. So I had to correct it and say, you know what, I know what I just said, but no, we're gonna do it. So but anyways, I ended up getting prayer after service or whatever, just to, like, come out of that and just come out anything I needed. I didn't really know. I was like, I just need to be prayed for. And I remember Pastor Christy basically just started praying over me, and she was just like, I need you to come out of this guilt that you've been feeling about the past. And I just broke down, because I'm like, God, you hear me. You know exactly how I've been feeling. And at the time when she said it, it's like it didn't really register, like, what she was talking about. I was like, guilt? What guilt? I don't feel bad about that. I feel like I'm doing good. But then the Holy Spirit was like, no, you feel guilty towards me. It's like you've been trying to validate, whether or not you're in my will, and, like, whether you're doing what I've asked you to do. And I'm here to send my daughter to tell you I am pleased with you. Like, you're on track.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I broke down because it's like God is so intentional with, like, what he has to, like, make sure whether it's from people, whether it's from, like, a sermon, just whatever it is. And I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful for that, and the fact that he, used her, and just she's not the first one, but I think just in that moment, it just all made sense, because I never really realized why I was like, am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? And it's like, I feel like I am, but there's still something in the back of my head saying you're not doing enough, or you should be doing this, you should be reading more. So I'm just in my head. And I think just having that prayer in that moment, like, I heard God speak. So it's just, he'll be whatever you need him to be,
girl,
in that moment.
Perfect.
And I just thank God for it. So
he will, girl. And that's so special. I love that you had that moment, first and foremost. That's so beautiful, because I can definitely relate to that. And I also look at your life, Tori, and something I heard recently, it was like, whether you're operating out of momentum or favor, I think was the other one. Did you hear that recently? Okay. I want to make sure I wasn't repeating it if you did. But basically is by checking your fruit. Like, so if you're just bearing results, that's, maybe more momentum, you operating in what you can make happen. But then if you're operating in favor and you check your fruit, and the fruit that's multiplying, I feel like when I look at you, girl.
Lord, you better make me start back up.
Honestly, I feel like when I look at you, when I see the impact and the shift and the fruit that you're bearing in your podcast and the things that you're doing, even in your business, but also in like souls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the youth department, it's like, it's undeniable. And I think the enemy would love to distract us, especially when he knows that he can't defeat us.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I'm saying? We're already victors anyway. He would love to distract us. And he uses, like you said, he's so cunning. He uses the very thing that is our thing.
Jesus.
Like for you, it might just be the mind talk. It might be, you know, under the guise of being an introvert or whatever, under the guise of any one of the guises that you can choose. But he knows, he studies us.
Yeah.
He literally studies us, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, that's what I come back to when I start to have, because I have those moments often, too, where I'm getting in my head. And it's like, well, let me look at my fruit. Let me look at, like, when I'm starting to ask, am I doing what God is asking me to do? Because sometimes it's not so clear.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm doing the things, like the check in the box things, right? But is it pleasing him? Like, and when you come into a relationship with him, it matters.
Yeah.
Whether he's pleased or not.
I didn't care before. I definitely care now.
It matters. It matters. And you said, like, just knowing him and knowing his names, like knowing his characteristics. And that's what I love about God, is he's so near, but also the characteristic of God is not to condemn us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or come down with like this ruler. That's really us a lot of the times. Us on ourselves. We are our own selves' worst critic at times. But anyway, I said all of that because I'm getting all tongue-tied over here, just being caught up and just like, girl, it's undeniable. It's literally all over you.
I appreciate that. And like I said, I see it in you too. And I just appreciate, again, divine connections because we're not made to do life alone. I know, you know, culture might tell you that and traumas might make you feel that way, but I just thank God for him sending the right people. Right. And definitely at the right time. We might not really understand what's going on and like the bigger picture, but like just know like he's got us and he's very intentional and strategic with who he places for whatever season you need. So I just appreciate you saying that.
Absolutely.
And I feel the exact same way. And I am, again, grateful for, you know, this connection that we have. I'm grateful for just everything I see God doing in your life, whether it's pouring into other people or just constantly like pouring into yourself as well. Because we ain't even really got into it. But I know, you know, you wear a lot of hats. You're a mom, you're a wife, you have businesses, you have just all these things that you're in ministry, you have all these things you're doing. How do you feel like April is able to pour into self with all of those things that you do? How would you say you are able to do that?
So that is something that I lean into a lot now because I realize too, I am still learning in that space. I'm still figuring it out. And one thing I've learned about myself is that sometimes I don't know when I'm doing too much.
Yes.
Like sometimes I don't know when I'm going too fast until like I'm burned out.
Absolutely.
So I literally have started to pay more attention to how I'm spending my time. And I have set some days where like me and my husband, he is the partner of a lifetime, literally. But he supports me in this, and I support him in making sure he gets his time because we realize that for one, we are not our most optimum self if we're not able to have that moment to pour in.
That's good.
So every day, every week, my day is on Wednesday. It's just my day. However I want to use my day is how I'm going to use my day. Sometimes it's going thrifting or sometimes it's just sitting in bed and eat my favorite snacks. Or sometimes I might spend like 4 hours on the phone with a girlfriend. And my friends know this too. Like I tell them Wednesdays and Fridays are my days for y'all.
That's April Day. See, my day is supposed to be Monday. Tori Day are on Mondays, but I have not been doing all the things to really pour into that. But I feel that.
So those are my days. And if we want to talk like and have like a deep conversation, that's probably a day where I can be more flexible. And let you know like, hey, Wednesday is a good day for me. I can block off some time for you because I'm all my other commitments are at bay for these days. So literally being intentional about making time for me and setting those boundaries so that other people can respect them too. But it's not even always a matter of respect. It's just a matter of communicating. That's like good. Making sure that they know Because some people we just don't know.
Yes, like sometimes
Girl,
we just be like, oh, they should understand.
I'll be the most assumptive. I ain't gonna lie, because I'll be like, you got time for me? Or I'll just go into a text message like, hey, can you do this? Or da-da-da-da. Just assuming that they got time.
What was it? I saw a post recently. It was like, don't mistaken people's free time. Wait, I'm so bad.
Their availability for free time.
Yes. And I'm just like, dang. And I can't even, like you said, I can't even blame people because people don't know. Like, I'll get a lot of different hair texts and stuff, like, honestly, at any time of the day.
Yes.
And there's a part of me, people pleasing. It's like I would feel like I have to respond, or else I'm just not being the best person I could be.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how to set those boundaries.
Yeah.
And allow people to respect them, which I know they would, but it's just I had to do the work first to say, okay, one, this isn't wrong. I need to do this. This is how I'm able to, like you said, operate my full capacity and not feel burnt out. So yeah, it was a self-starter.
Yeah. So I do that a lot. And then I often do like time audits of just really seeing how I'm spending my time, because sometimes we can think that we're spending more time in places where we actually aren't spending enough, and vice versa. So it's just really leaning into it and being intentional and learning yourself, like continuously learning yourself. There was one day on my me day, I just went to the mall and tried on clothes. I won't buy nothing, girl, because I ain't handling it. But I went there.
No, that's right.
I won't buy nothing. I was just in there trying on clothes. I mean, the most expensive stuff too. Like, you know, the Jessica Simpson, them heels be high.
I need to take a day and just do that. I really do.
And it was partially to you know, for confidence boosting, like to see my body and to be able to look at myself in the mirror and to see what I look like now, what I think looks good on me. Yeah. I was also trying out different styles because I wanted something different and new. But it was also just important to me to like spend time with April, like, you know, and be a friend to me. And that's what I tell Rylan all the time. I'm like, you gotta be a friend to yourself. If it's advice that you would not give a friend, you shouldn't be taking it. Yeah. You shouldn't be taking it for yourself either, right? And if it's advice that you would give a friend, you probably need to consider for yourself. Yeah. And so it's really that friendship thing is huge. It's a huge theme in my life with women, but also with myself and with my friends and people who I love in general. So, because I want to get it right. Yes. I really want to get it right. Like, for real, for real. And I sense that with you too. It's like, I want to get it right. Yes. Whether that's pleasing God, whether that's being your best self at like being a hairstylist, being in church, being a youth leader. It's like, I want to get it right. I want to please God ultimately. And I feel like that is getting it right, right? When we're doing it and it's pleasing to Him. So, but yeah, that's how I'm doing my self-care these days.
Okay. I think that kind of ties into just something also that Pastor Christy told me during that prayer. She was like, God is just telling me to tell you to relax. And of course I'm thinking like that means stop overthinking, which it did mean that. But even just when it comes to physically relax, like I don't pour into myself enough. I'm like either working, just ministry, it's always something. And I love what I do, don't get me wrong. So it's like it doesn't feel like, oh my God, it's da-da-da. But when I start looking out, I'm like, dang, I don't even have one day where I don't have to be anywhere. I can just literally, like you said, be in my bed and just eat. I probably shouldn't do that, but still being able to do it. That's like the thing. Stack. I don't have that. And I'm trying to incorporate Mondays again, but it's a work in progress. Okay. But just hearing that word relax, like I said, that was speaking to all different areas. So mentally relax, like overthinking, like you said, getting it right. Know that you hear God. Know that God speaks to you. If there's something that's not in alignment, He gonna let you know. Yes. Still ask, but don't overthink to the point where you're obsessing. Because I was obsessing with my relationship with God. It was becoming the same thing as my relationship with people, which is it's a better avenue, but it's still that same mindset of people pleasing. We want to please God, obviously, but when I'm obsessing and I'm not actually walking in it and just knowing that He's not condemning me. Like if I don't read my Bible tomorrow once, you know what I'm saying? It's not like the end of the world. He's not doing it. That's us. And I had to realize, again, the enemy is putting like the same things that we did from a worldly perspective. It's the same thing in our walk.
Oh, that's so good.
So it just, it came full circle. But just relaxing. And also just being okay with that, not feeling guilty, because I don't know if you ever felt like this, but like days that we have off or we don't have obligations, it's like your mind will tell you, but you should be doing this.
Right.
You know, you got an assignment,
Right.
like all
Right.
these things. So I feel guilty about just not, doing anything or taking a day where I'm going to take a nap right now. Right. Yes, I could be doing X, Y, and Z, but I need this. So just not feeling guilty.
Girl, that's so good. What I heard when you were saying that was good intentions with toxic habits.
Yes.
It's still not going to work.
Yep.
Because like you said, it's a good avenue. But when you bring, Pastor Trey was talking about this yesterday, or maybe I was listening to it this morning, it was Bishop. But when you bring an old mindset into a new space, you know what I'm saying? It's still not going to work.
It's the same thing.
It's contamination is what I feel.
Yeah.
And so what I was thinking when you said that, and reframing, I do a lot of reframes. So like even with friendships, I had to like reframe how I approach friendships.
Yes.
And so it's like at first and foremost, it has to honor and please God. And then secondly, it has to honor me as a person, as a being, as a human. Yeah. And then make sure that both parties are handled responsibly. I'm handling myself responsibly. I'm handling them responsibly. I can rest.
Yes.
Right. And
That's
then getting
good.
down to rest though, girl, rest is it's easy to not do anything, but it's hard to rest. It's simple, but when you're used to like going, like to slow your mind down, to take away like all the noise and the chatter in your mind or whatever, or to feel not to feel guilty. My God. And so I'm practicing rest.
Yeah.
It's still something that I'm working to improve, but I feel like if you're falling forward, you're still trending in the right direction.
Yes.
And it's okay, because that means, like when you level up, when you're like, let's just take a new job or a new language, you're not going to come in as a master of it. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall.
We're supposed to, but realistically, no.
I'm pointing at myself on that one. Absolutely. But when you're falling forward, you're still moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
And so that's how I feel with rest.
Sheesh.
Is that I'm falling forward. I'm learning to slow down. I just call myself out. It's like, I need to put my phone down, because it's like a reflex.
Yeah.
It's like,
my gosh, you are not
soon
lying.
as
Don't
soon
let me be at a
as-
stop. I'm like,
Girl, as soon as there's a
Yes,
free moment. And the moment don't
yes.
even have to be free. And I'm like, I hear you.
Yes.
And I'm just scrolling and mindlessly scrolling.
absolutely.
My husband called it MSing, mindlessly scroll up. I'm like, get twisted out. But I do that a lot too. So it's like really practicing stillness and rest.
Jesus. Somebody on the other end is struggling with this same thing. This is your word.
It's your word.
God is using us to pour out to you.
It's your word. Grab
Rest.
it. Grab it.
Relax and rest. Okay? It's okay. We could fight another day tomorrow, but today, rest.
It's amazing how like even just hearing you say that word makes me feel like,
Yes,
it's like
it feels good saying
right,
it, right?
It feels good saying it. Like when somebody says relax and you really hear the words, like, like even in that moment, it brings some type of like soothe to
What's
you.
crazy is though, which I think it was just the context. When people used to tell me like relax, I used to get offended. I used to get offended. I don't know if it was just maybe because I knew I needed to, but I don't know, when somebody be like, you need to relax or just relax, I'd be like, and now I'm just like, I think it was just coming from a place of toxicity because I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know what that really meant.
So it's like on the defense.
Yes. I actually told somebody that, one of my guy friends, because, we be joking, kikiing or whatever. And I would say something or whatever. He'd be like, relax. I'd be like,
wait a minute, who?
but I think it was just the mindset about that word. Like I said, when you hear relax, like you said, I automatically got on the defense because I'm like, what you mean? Like I am. And I'm like, no, you're not.
Right.
You're not.
Right.
So it was just a
No, I get
self-awareness
that.
moment. But hearing it now, I don't feel that way. I think because it's been so depleted, like relaxing and just resting all in one, whether that's like your mentality, whether that's physically, whatever it is, it's like, yeah, that's just been non-existent.
Yeah.
So hearing it now in this space of recognizing that's been a problem and something I haven't prioritized, I don't feel that way. I feel like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that. And I'll say this is my last thing. But it gives God a chance to be God too.
Jesus.
Because for me, I didn't realize that's what it was, but it was me trying to like manipulate my outcomes, manipulate my miracles, manufacture my miracles, what I call it. And so it's like I'm always trying to do everything in my own might, always.
Yes.
And that is why it feels heavy. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the reason why it feels heavy. That's part of the reason why it feels like it's about to take me out. I'm suffocating, or I just like, I can't rest.
Yeah.
Because it was never meant for me to do in that way anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Because when I tell you are speaking the whole word right now, that is so
Girl,
true.
I'm like, girl, you ain't God now.
You know, look, we tried. And look, we don't, like, if you say, like, no, I want to be God, but you are trying to be God.
For
like,
real.
be for real.
Like,
and
yes.
We, like I said, we got to check ourselves daily. It'd be the most subtlest things.
Subtle.
But God brings it to our remembrance, and also, like, gives us that awareness, like, you say you're not, but you kind of are a little bit. I'm like, well, dang.
Right.
Clock it. Okay.
Right.
Let me know.
For real.
But I thank him for that. And I thank him for just, again, never leading us in the dark. He never leaves us in the dark, whether we're just too distracted to hear him or receive it. We might not want to hear it. It's like he really does not lead us blind. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, and I am literally going to take the time after we done with this. I ain't got nothing to do till later. I'm going to rest and happily do it. My phone gonna be on D&D and not feel bad about it. But yeah, that's so
that's
good.
beautiful. I'm gonna check in. So I'm like, are you resting?
Please do.
I would do that. I would
like,
hold somebody accountable now, because I like to be held accountable too. It helps me. Are you resting?
I just want to say, one, I appreciate you so much for just being who you are, for being a big sister to me, and also just allowing me to have your time, allowing my audience to have your time, because you booked and busy, girl. You doing it. You doing all the things, but I just appreciate you for taking time out today to just really pour out, be vulnerable, and just let us know, like, it's not always perfection. I know a lot of times we try to strive for that, and like I said, when you're on the outside looking in, it seems that way, like, oh my gosh, it's perfection, like I want to get to that, and it's like, no, it's favor, it's God, and it's like a constant daily dying of ourselves in the process. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So I just appreciate the transparency. Do you mind if we just seal this moment in prayer?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So God, oh my God, can I just say that we thank you, Lord, and we honor you. We honor you with this moment, with this conversation, with all of the different topics that we've talked about today. God, we just thank you, and we pray, Lord, that you would get the glory out of this, Lord, and that the messages that came across today, that they would reach exactly who it was meant to reach, Lord. And I thank you for the continued success of this podcast and everything that Tori is doing, God. May everything that she puts her hands on prosper. God, I pray, Lord, that you would continue to use her as a vessel in this podcast and in the world at large, God, to just really show your glory and to show what all you can do when we rest, when we surrender, and when we just allow you to take the steering wheel of our lives and to guide us and direct us and lead us wherever you see fit. Because God, we can trust you.
Yes, God.
We can trust you with our lives. We can trust you with everything. And so we love you, we honor you, and we thank you for this moment. And it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Yes, Lord.
Yes. Girl, I done bumped my mouth on getting into it.
All right, so before we tune off, we need to know how to connect with you, whether it's personal, business, whatever you want to give. What are your handles that they can follow you on?
Yes, please do follow me on Instagram. It's April Kelly. That's what it is. ITS, April, APRIL, Kelly, KELLY. It's April Kelly on Instagram. We're also on TikTok, same handle. And then our Tavi pages, please do support our next phase. We are going to continue. I feel like even throughout this whole entire venture, we're going to need our backing, our following, our people, our tribe. So definitely follow us on Facebook. It's Tavi. And then on Instagram, The Tavi Way. And Tavi is T as in Tom, A, V as in Victor, I. The Tavi Way on Instagram.
Yes. Oh, podcast.
And the podcast, the BFFX podcast on YouTube and on Facebook.
Period. Y'all, they're going to be all over the screen. So y'all going to have all those platforms.
You talking about the handles?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about we as in the podcast.
Oh, well, look, that too.
Podcast will be all over the screen too.
That too. too.
Yes.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am Tori Rouse, and this was the 2C podcast. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey.
Yeah, got it.